Is that insane?
Proof, evidence, Larry.
Is that
evidence.
insane?
Proof, Larry. Evidence, proof, evidence.
What the heck was that? That was Roger Stone freaking out in his deposition. In today's litigation IQ review, we're going to go over Roger Stone's deposition, why he lost control, what went wrong, and I think you're really going to enjoy it because he goes from bad to worse. So let's get into it. Hi everybody, it's Jeff Doherty, president of Litigation IQ. I'm a trial consultant and I'm also a YouTuber. Everybody's seen the "You Can't Handle the Truth" from A Few Good Men. Probably one of the most iconic courtroom scenes. So Roger Stone's deposition gets kind of close to it. He gets more and more agitated as his deposition goes on, and it just gets worse and worse. And you're gonna love it. Who is Roger Stone and why should we care? He's a political consultant. He consulted for Richard Nixon, Ronald Reagan, Jack Kemp, Bob Dole, George Bush, and also Donald Trump. He was also hired by a man named Larry Klayman to consult on his political campaign. And there's some bad blood between those two. Their relationships seem to have fallen apart for some reason. And this is a defamation lawsuit, Larry Klayman versus Roger Stone. The man that's actually asking the questions to Roger Stone is Larry Klayman. All right, so let's get into it. Let's watch the first clip here.
We're on the record for the video deposition of Roger Stone, taking the matter of Klayman versus Stone. Today is February 12th, 2020, and the time is 9:42 a.m.
All right, as you can see, the deposition hasn't even started yet. And what is Roger Stone doing? He's looking at his phone. So he's not even taking this seriously. And look at his facial expressions and his body language. He looks angry already. He hasn't even been asked one question, but he's already angry. And his body language is communicating the same thing. Folded arms, and he looks upset. So another problem with Roger Stone starting off with a scowl on his face, upset, he already looks annoyed, is what he's doing is he's communicating to the opposing lawyer his emotional state. And that's a big mistake because the opposing lawyer knows that Roger Stone's already annoyed, he's already agitated, and those are the buttons that he's going to push. Roger Stone's demeanor should be professional, it should be calm, it should communicate confidence, but instead he gives away a big part of the game by showing the opposing lawyer how angry he already is. And he's highlighting for the lawyer who's going to be asking him the questions a big vulnerability. And that's his emotional state. So as the deposition progresses, the opposing lawyer taps into that. He keeps attacking and prodding and pushing, and Roger Stone keeps getting more and more agitated to the point where he's literally out of control. Roger Stone volunteers information.
And what did you do after you received the request for production of documents? How did you look for those documents?
I asked my attorneys to conduct the search because they had just conducted a search regarding federal matters.
What federal matters had they conducted a search?
I think it's rather obvious, is it not?
What is it? Put it on the record.
Yeah, you have two federal cases, the DNC versus the Russian Federation in the Southern District of New York. You have Cochran versus, I'm trying to remember the lead defendant, and Roger Stone. And then you have the federal criminal matter.
All right, so Roger Stone makes a critical error here. He's asked a question about what he did to search for some documents in the request for document production. And he should have stopped when he said, I asked my attorneys to do it, but instead he volunteers information. He wasn't asked why he asked his attorneys to do it, but he says, well, because they had already conducted a search in the federal matters.
Because they had just conducted a search regarding federal matters.
And so what does that do? It gives the lawyer, Mr. Klayman, all sorts of information that he wouldn't have had in the first place. And then you see what happens. Klayman asks, well, what federal matters? and Roger Stone doesn't want to talk about it. But then he keeps pushing and pushing, and then Roger Stone's lawyer eventually has to say, okay, well, we've got this case, we've got this case, and we've got this case. And he's basically establishing that Roger Stone has a lot of legal issues. And what's the problem with that? Why does that even matter? Well, these clips can be shown to a jury. And if the jury sees that Roger Stone has all sorts of lawsuits against him, and he's being sued for defamation here, the jury might conclude, well, Roger Stone seems like the kind of guy that's getting into all sorts of legal trouble. He probably did what he's being accused of doing here. It also puts his attorney off guard a little bit because his attorney doesn't remember all the names of the cases, and so he's kind of thrown off a little bit. He's trying to name them from memory, and he can't name them all, but the point is made is that Roger Stone has a lot of lawsuits against him. And the vital error was he went beyond the question. The question was, what did you do? He should have just stopped at, I asked my lawyers to do it, and that's it. Instead, he wanted to defend his answer. And once you start defending an answer, you're just giving ammunition to the lawyer that's asking the questions. And it's totally unnecessary, and it does no good. In fact, what it does is it does harm. Okay.
Your residence, where was your residence located when the FBI came in with...
We're not answering these questions. So
you can certify these that are not being answered.
Please do.
Yes. What computers did the FBI take?
All the same computers?
we're not
Pardon
answering
me.
these questions.
This is relevant to document production.
You're-
I'll tie it up.
Go ahead.
You're going to wind up getting sanctioned, Mr. Bichelle.
No, you're going to wind up getting sanctioned,
This-
Mr.
this- this doesn't-
Clayman,
this-
like you are in D.C. So let's go.
Let's not do that.
Why not?
Continue.
Not going to be badgered by this
You're not
asshole.
badgered.
Oh, yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Continue.
Now,
All right, so we're 15 minutes into his deposition, and he's already swearing at the lawyer. His arms are folded, he's angry, his facial expressions, they show that he's angry. He's arguing, and a deposition's not an argument. Roger Stone should know better. His lawyer should have told him that it's not an argument, and arguing does nothing except for hurt your case. But Roger Stone jumps in and starts arguing back and forth with Mr. Clayman. And again, you can hear in the attorney's voice, in Roger's attorney's voice, he's getting frustrated. He's trying to calm Roger down. And now again, there's only 15 minutes into the deposition, and Roger is already starting to come unglued a little bit here, and it's only going to get worse. And what it's doing is hurting his own case. Another error that Roger made was he started to answer the question before the lawyer even finished asking the question. So he starts to talk, and Roger's own lawyer says, no, we're not answering those questions. But it's kind of too late because Roger already started answering the question. So another rule that he violated when you're being deposed is wait until the lawyer finishes asking the question.
2 and 2 equals 4, doesn't it?
You have nothing.
Objection.
You're-
Is that insane?
No, wild
is that insane?
Proof, evidence, Larry.
Is that
evidence,
insane?
Proof, Larry. Evidence, proof, evidence. Not guessing on your part with nothing. You have nothing. This proves nothing.
That's what you told Mueller, right? You have nothing. That's what your clients argued at the trial.
I'm not going to discuss the criminal case. If you want to keep insulting me, this will be over.
I'm
You
not
can run back
I'm
to the
not
judge like
insulting
a
you.
little bitch.
I'm doing what?
If you want to keep insulting me, I will just end this and you go running back to the judge.
Did you just
Okay?
call me a bitch?
You're acting like one. You're acting like one. You don't have anything, my friend. You got nothing. You have a wild guess. If you have some evidence that I communicated with Ruddy or Cardillo or Clemente or Cassandra, produce it. You got nothing. You're not going to get anything by interviewing
Well, I
them
certainly
because
can't
it's
produce
not
it
true.
if you've withheld it, can I?
I haven't withheld it. You have proof I withheld it. Do that, but you don't have that either.
Oh, we'll look for it. Don't
You
worry.
can look for it all you f***ing want. You'll find nothing.
Calm down. Ask a question.
This is just, it reaches a point of absurdity.
All right, now we're only an hour into the deposition, and in this short clip, Roger Stone uses profanity 3 times. He uses the F word twice, and he calls the opposing lawyer a name he shouldn't be using.
A little bitch. Little bitch.
This is a legal proceeding. It's being videoed. It's likely to be shown to the jury. He's under oath, and he's at the point where rage is starting to kick in. You can see him grimacing. You can see his hands agitated. they're shaking, they're fidgeting. He's probably not even aware of it, but his emotions have gotten the best of him. And it's not doing him any good in this deposition. What it's doing is making him look bad. And it's also making his lawyer's job very difficult. You can hear Roger's lawyer in the background kind of saying, stop, stop, don't do that, stop, calm down, those sorts of things. And his lawyer is kind of getting frustrated too.
Okay, I'm going to asking him.
I have no obligation to do that, and I'm not going to do it.
Certified.
Yes, please do.
You can ask your individual questions like you did yesterday.
Well, take an opportunity, Mr. Stone. We have time to review the affidavit.
I'm not going to read your biography.
And tell me,
I'm not going to read
whether
your
anything's
biography.
inaccurate.
I'm not going to read your biography and all of your asinine claims because you're an egomaniac. I'm just not going to do that.
All right.
If you have a specific question,
Right, certified.
pose it.
We'll go to the court about it.
I agree. Let's go to the court about it. I want to do that. Your reputation here is well known.
Stop.
Well known.
Stop.
I'm asking you. You can take your time, go through it paragraph by paragraph.
saying
Tell
I'm
me if
not-
anything's
Just let
inaccurate.
him-
I'm not going to do that. as
We
I
went
just said.
through this yesterday.
We
Mr.
didn't go.
Klayman.
I didn't ask it that
He
way.
likes to hear his biography. It makes him feel important.
Okay, certified.
Yes, please do. I'd like to speak to the judge myself about this.
Better do it quick.
Before you're disbarred.
Stop. Stop. Mr. Klayman.
No further
stop.
questions. This deposition is concluded for now, subject to my going back and moving the court to produce all the documents that we requested.
Subject to your still being admitted to the bar. Please note that for the record.
All right, now this is day 2. So this deposition was at least 5.5 hours. Believe me, I watched the whole entire thing so that I could get these clips out and show them to you. He's in day 2, at the start of day 2, and he is flipping out. He's so enraged that he doesn't even realize what he's doing. He's fiddling around with a mic that's supposed to be attached to his shirt. He's arguing, he's debating. He thinks he's winning because he thinks he's winning an argument, and he thinks he's getting these jabs in against Larry Klayman. He's criticizing him, he's putting him down, he's claiming he's going to be disbarred, that he's got a bad reputation, and all of these things, they do nothing to help Roger's case. All they do is make his case worse. They make him look worse. They make him look like he's a hothead. They make him look like he's easily agitated. They make him look like the kind of guy that would engage in defamation. They make him look like he's out of control. He grimaces, he bares his teeth. Probably doesn't even realize he's doing it. It's because his emotions have gotten the best of him. The problem is, litigation is anxiety provoking. It raises stress, it raises anxiety. It makes people frustrated. So he wasn't prepared for this situation. He wasn't prepared to deal with it. If you prepare a witness properly, they go into the deposition calm. They have a little bit of anxiety, which is normal, but they remain professional. They expect that it's going to be uncomfortable, but they've practiced it, and so they know how to deal with the frustration and with somebody criticizing them. One of two things happened. Either Roger Stone's attorney did not prepare him properly, or Roger Stone's attorney did prepare him properly, and Roger Stone just ignored all the advice and all the guidance that his attorney gave to him. I'm not sure which one it is. All I know is that this was a catastrophe. It didn't have to happen, and all it did was make Roger Stone look bad. So if Roger Stone had just remained calm, professional, respectful, stayed confident, didn't try to fight, argue, debate, and try to win the deposition, which is, it's impossible to do, this would have been a non-issue. We wouldn't be talking about it right now. And you would think somebody like Roger Stone would be sophisticated enough to know better. So I have one more clip to show you, and let's just take a look at it right now. It's Roger Stone. Now again, I watched 5.5 hours of this deposition. I found the best response that I could possibly find with good body language. Well, it's not good body language, it's okay body language, it's okay demeanor. He seemed calm, he doesn't seem angry. If he would have just maintained this level of professionalism the whole time, things would have gotten much better for him.
You have been sued by me and by Dr. Corsi, correct?
That's my understanding.
Okay. And in the course of being sued, you were sent document requests, correct?
That's correct.
So why does this even matter? Why are we talking about Roger Stone, and how does it apply to you, or how does it apply to me? Well, everybody's confronted with difficult situations in life. You may have a boss that's really, really difficult. Maybe you have an argument with a family member or a friend, and your emotions get in the way. And in the moment, it might feel good to snap or to lash out or to kind of lose control a little bit. It kind of feels good to kind of give it back to somebody. But what it does is it harms you in the future. So in the moment, it might feel good. The long term, it can ruin relationships. It can ruin your opportunity to get a promotion. You might even lose your own job. So keep your emotions in check. There are always going to be difficult situations. There's always going to be difficult people. But if you can learn to stay calm, keep the emotions out of it, make rational decisions, stay professional, stay level-headed, it's going to make a world of difference for you in a whole variety of situations. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this analysis of Roger Stone's deposition. Leave any comments about how you felt about Roger Stone, what you thought about his demeanor, his body language, how it affected his credibility, and also leave comments as to what you would like me to analyze. Movie scenes, TV shows, courtroom dramas, people testifying before Congress, whatever that might be. If you like this video, subscribe. There's going to be a lot more videos just like this. And thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.